afternoon, everyone, and happy Thursday, excuse me. I hope your week has gone well. It is Thursday at 2:30, and as we like to do every Thursday at 2:30, it's time for our weekly weather update. We're looking outside for today, we do have a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity that's impacting some spots there down to the southwest of downtown Atlanta. I'm talking all the way down towards the Grange, moving into Troup County. You see some of those showers and storms. Not seeing anything severe with this. We could end up having some gusty winds at times, though, with some of these storms today and a few rumbles of thunder, as well as a few heavy downpours. Look off towards the northwest of Atlanta and just north of Dallas and northeast of Dallas, looking up towards Kennesaw, Cartersville, seeing some pretty good downpours there. Also a few rumbles of thunder, a little bit of lightning. Some rainfall that's honestly needed in that area because remember, we've been dealing with a little bit of drought. We still need to continue to get some rain because downtown Atlanta, at least rather by the airport where the rain gauge is, we are below on average for rainfall this time of year. So we need a little bit more rain, and we'll take what we can get for right now. Now, a wider look across the southeast shows that we have a lot more shower and thunderstorm activity over for our neighbors in Mississippi and in Alabama, right over the Queen City of Meridian, Mississippi. It's kind of making its way down towards the south, some of that heaviest rainfall, and it's kind of making its way again down towards the southern Mississippi area and Mobile. Meanwhile, down towards the Florida Panhandle, they're also having a lot of shower activity down there and some thunderstorm activity near Pensacola, shifting off towards the east. Now, what can we expect for today? Well, there is a level 1 risk for some strong storms in far northwest Georgia. The main risk with any stronger storms would be damaging wind. That is, if we get any strong storms. You see that risk stretches well off over towards Nashville, Jackson, Tennessee, stretching off into the Boot Heel of Missouri, and then the little bit of a heightened risk for severe weather, the slight risk, that's going to be way up for areas of Kentucky, stretching up towards West Virginia, and then further off towards the north there. So not going to be as high of a risk for us. We just do have the chance for a strong storm or two ourselves. Now, we've had some drier conditions over the last few days. I say drier because I don't think you can exactly say dry, right? It was still fairly humid as we headed throughout the day there on Tuesday and Wednesday. But we also didn't have any rainfall, and it wasn't as humid as what it's been. But for today, the moisture has been making a little bit of a comeback. And you're going to expect that to stick around as we head throughout this weekend as well. And with a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere, it also means that we're going to see our rain chances start to bump up a little bit. Taking a look at Saturday, a lot of moisture over us. Those dark oranges that you see showing up on the screen, that's what we're talking about whenever we have more moisture in the air. It's also going to feel more humid out there. But look what happens as we head into the day there on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to get some dry air to sink in across our region again. That doesn't just show up over our dew points, but it will also show up on our rain chances. You're going to start to see them go down a little bit. You see, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we do have that heightened chance or rather that heightened dew point, but we'll also have a heightened chance for some rainfall along that time as well. Going to feel oppressive, it says there, for the 70s. I always like to say, think about a tropical air mass whenever you have dew points in the 70s. It feels really humid out there. You can almost close your eyes and it feels like you're out on the beach. That's kind of more like what it's going to be like over the next couple of days here with how humid it'll be. And with more moisture and more humidity in there, we of course get the better rain chances. Now, forecast track tries to show this shower and thunderstorm activity down to our southwest really weakening here as we get into this afternoon. I would not be surprised if we saw a little bit more in the way of rain activity by 6 p.m. compared to what this weather model is trying to show. So don't be surprised by that. Isolated showers and storms here and there, temperatures still into the 90s for highs. And then we move into Friday. Starting off the day with temperatures are going to be in the 70s. We're talking about a mostly cloudy, partly cloudy sky overhead, and then we're going to have the isolated to scattered showers and storms for the afternoon. Look over towards Mississippi and Alabama. It looks like that will still be where a majority of the rain is going to be, but we're still going to have a pretty decent shot for some rainfall ourselves there for Friday, and then we're going to do that again as we head throughout the day on Saturday. Scattered showers and storms. I know you don't want to see the rain chances on Saturday. I wish I could bring some better news, but that is going to be the wettest day of this week. It's looking like 50% chance for scattered showers and storms there on Saturday, a 30% chance for a few isolated showers and storms for Sunday, and then there's those drier conditions I was talking about as we head throughout the day on Monday and Tuesday. Those rain chances really drop off. Of course, I mentioned it earlier, we need the rainfall. We are behind right now on rain for the year here in Atlanta, and you see we're also behind for the month. We're about a 1/2 of an inch deficit. We did get a few days ago there on the 10th about 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, and that really helped out a lot, but it wasn't enough to really push us into a surplus. We're still behind for the year by a decent amount. Actually, let's go ahead and bring that up as well. Let me scroll down through my list here and show how far behind we are for the year. Because we're still a decent chunk away, and even with what you're seeing on the screen right now, where we're going to get about 1/4 of an inch for some spots, and then you see far northwest Georgia, some spots picking up that dark blue, 1/2 of an inch, where you're starting to see those brighter blues up to 1 inch of rainfall. We're still not going to be getting enough rain to really fix this deficit. You see that we're nearly at a full inch from our normal year-to-date of rainfall, and we are not going to catch that here in Atlanta to push us ahead, which means that we're probably going to see those abnormally dry conditions return over this next week. Now, right now, the drought monitor, it updates every Thursday morning. The most recent update took the entire state of Georgia out of abnormally dry conditions. So right now we're not considered to be abnormally dry, we're not considered to be in drought, but if we don't pick up enough rainfall here over the next few days here in Atlanta, we're likely going to start to see that pale yellow color show back up on the screen, meaning that we're back in abnormally dry conditions. But it is good to see that the rain that we had last week, remember we had some really wet days there, like the day that we had 3/4 of an inch of rain on the 10th, that helped push us away and out of abnormally dry conditions. So we'll keep you updated on all that, of course, with rainfall. But now let's talk a little bit about the tropics. It's been fairly quiet out there, and that's not completely out of the norm. We had a little bit of activity there whenever we had there are 2 named systems just about, I would say, a month ago that made their way into the Caribbean, and then one that headed just northeast of the Bahamas, and they collapsed. And then since then, we really haven't had a lot to talk about with the tropics. Remember, tropical activity doesn't really pick up in the Atlantic until we head into the end of August, early September. It's also an El Nino year. Even though the temperatures are very warm out there in the Atlantic, there's a lot of different factors that come into play whenever we're talking about tropical cyclone development. If there's too much shear, these storms can't really form well. And that was something that some of these storms that we were talking about just a month ago were encountering as they continue to push off to the west. They just couldn't hold together, and they fell apart because of issues like shear. We do have a medium chance for tropical development, though, way out into the Atlantic. This system doesn't look like it's going to be impacting us. We'll keep you updated on it, though. We have Brett and Cindy. Those were the 2 named storms that we had earlier this year. If we get another named storm, we had Arlene way back, and then if we have another named storm, it will be Don. And of course, we have a lot of the season to go. Again, season starts on June 1st, and then the peak of the season is right around September 10th. I always say for the northern Gulf area, most people along the Gulf Coast are typically holding their breath there at the end of August, the last 2 weeks of August, first 2 weeks of September. That's when some of the more impactful hurricanes and tropical systems have hit our northern Gulf Coast, and those systems that hit the northern Gulf Coast are typically the ones that move off to the north and then can sometimes impact us here in North Georgia with heavy rain and even possibility of tornadoes sometimes. You think of storms like Camille, Katrina, Isaac, Gustav. They were all right there in that late August, early September timeframe. The end of the season is November 30th. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast, showing us that as we head throughout the next week, again, we have those higher chances for rain. Unfortunately, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I wish I could have those move somewhere else, but I'm unable to do that. Again, we're going to have some rain. It's not going to be a washout, but you need to make sure that you have a way to get weather updates. The 11 Alive app is going to be a great thing that you could have if you're heading out to the lake, Lake Lanier, Lake Allatoona, wherever you may be going, Lake Jackson, wherever it is. Make sure that you have a way to receive weather alerts and a way to look at radar. The 11 Alive app offers that opportunity. That way you can stay safe if you're going out hiking maybe. Let's say you're going up towards Springer Mountain. You're going to go hike that start of the Appalachian Trail. Make sure that you have a way to get weather updates. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s each day for highs. And then looking at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you see that we are going to be drier there for Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be hotter, though. We're talking lower to mid-90s, so above average for this time of year to right around average. And then 95 for Wednesday. 96 for Thursday, just a slight change for rain there on Wednesday, so it is going to be pretty hot here. Unfortunately, even though those rain chances are going to be going down, it's always a trade-off in the summer. You either get the rain or you get the heat, and we're going to be getting the heat there as we head throughout next week, it's looking like. The 8 to 14-day outlook, we're now looking towards the end of July. We're looking at all the way back through the end of July now with the outlook, and it's looking like above average temperatures. So those lower to mid 90s for highs, that could be what we're dealing with here as we head throughout the end of the month. And then it also looks like we'll get around average rainfall, maybe far north Georgia, just slightly above average. It's really going to be probably around average there from day 8 through day 14. Let's take a look at the weekend getaways. If you plan on doing any traveling here as we head throughout this weekend, it's looking like it's going to be good weather in some spots at times. You see that we are going to be dealing with some storms here for Friday and Saturday up towards Lake Lanier. Remember, I mentioned that you want to make sure you have a way to receive weather updates. Head down to Savannah, take Friday off. Tell your boss, hey, I got to go down Friday because the weather's going to be nice. And maybe your boss will work with you, right? It's going to be the best day of the week there as we head throughout tomorrow. Going to be a great day down towards Savannah and Tybee Island, maybe. Charleston, South Carolina, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, both going to be dealing with showers and storms pretty much each day, with a drier day there on Monday for Gatlinburg. And then Destin, it's the panhandle of Florida in the summertime. It's not going to be constant rain, but you're going to have off and on scattered showers and storms. You may have to go inside to the hotel or the condo and then head back out to the beach off and on with some of those storms. Peach State outlook, if you're doing any traveling across Georgia here over the next 3 days, here's what you can expect. It's going to be a little bit drier down towards Savannah again on Friday, and then you see that the thunderstorm activity is going to be pretty common, not just for us here in the Atlanta area, but you see much of the state is going to be dealing with those off and on scattered showers and storms each day. Again, not a washout, but you're going to have to keep an eye out for some of those storms. And if you're doing any hiking tomorrow in far north Georgia, let's say you're going up toward Cloudland Canyon, know that storms are going to be possible. Again, I've said it before, download that 11 Alive app. That way you can stay updated on the forecast whenever you are on the go. So I want to bump everything back up to the 7-day forecast. I hope that everybody can have a wonderful and safe weekend ahead of them. Remember that we're going to be having those chances for rain each day there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, not a washout, but scattered showers and storms. Your best shot for rain each day is going to be around the afternoon time frame. We're going to get that daytime heating going, the pop-up showers and storms in the afternoon. That's going to be the time frame to which you're going to be more likely impacted by the storms. Temperatures staying in the 90s for highs, meaning that it's going to be hot if you miss out on the rainfall. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, and then also try to have a little bit of fun this weekend. So don't forget, we can always have updates for you right here on 11 Alive, both on 11alive.com, the 11 Alive Plus app for Roku and Fire TV. Make sure you download that. Get extra information on news and weather right there at your fingertips. That's, again, the 11 Alive Plus app on Roku and Fire TV. And then, of course, you can get our updates on air. Don't forget that Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is on every evening. He's taking a little bit of a week off this week, though. Don't worry, he's coming back next week. You can catch Meteorologist Chesley McNeil on in the mornings. And then, of course, Meteorologist Melissa Nord and Nicole Hartford each day, and then also on the weekends. And then also you can get some updates from myself on air every single day here at 11 Alive. Have a wonderful week ahead of you, and we'll keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.